Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. This is Allegro. Thank you so much for coming back to watch yet another video. And if you are new here, please do take a moment to subscribe to the channel and join our growing YouTube family. That was a lot. I feel like I have memorized that intro. But yeah, so on today's video, I want to talk about holding yourself accountable. Accountability is something that I am surprised, and I am maybe even not even just surprised but shocked that a lot of people fail to hold for themselves. When you find a grown person, I'm not talking teenagers and so on, even though with them too they could hold themselves accountable, they should at that age know that, okay, this is my fault, I did this, how do I go about it, but you find grown people still refusing to hold themselves accountable for where they are and the mess that they find themselves in. And I just wanted to shed some light on that today, and just really have a discussion, because the things that I speak about on this channel is not just close-ended. It's just for me putting out my thoughts out there, my opinion, what I think, what I thought of speaking about this week, and really engaging with you in the comment section, hearing your thoughts on it. And yeah, I'm always looking forward to that. So feel free to drop your comments in the comment section, and let's talk about today's topic and why you perhaps think accountability is so hard for a lot of people. I mean, you could find someone who the situation is so obvious. It's so obvious that they made their bed and they need to lay in it, and even along the way, perhaps when they were making those mistakes and, the actions that they were taking, they knew that they would be repercussions. They knew that at the end of it, this is a possibility, but they did it anyway, and you tend to think, when the result of your actions follows, why are you trying to blame somebody else? Why do you want to shift the blame? Why do we want to start pointing fingers? Why do we think, well, it's not my fault. I mean, look at my family history. It's my family, or it's the way I was brought up, or that person made me do it, or it's always something. It's always something, and it's never, you know what, Allegro? Look yourself in the mirror and say, I did that. And how do I fix it? What was the lesson there? Did I get what that was trying to teach me? I feel like everything in your life is meant to teach you something. Doesn't matter how long it takes you to learn that lesson, but everything that you go through in life is supposed to teach you something. You're supposed to get something out of it. It might not be a hard, deep lesson, or something extremely profound, but it will teach you something, whether it's just to show a little kindness to people, whether it's to not be so hard on yourself, whether to be patient, whether to work a little harder, whether to, have faith, whatever the lesson may be, there's always a lesson somewhere. And it's up to you, once you hold yourself accountable, to really sit down and unpack your decisions, unpack where you currently are, and think, okay, I am here because I did X, Y, and Z. And backtrack and start looking at how you got there, and finding maybe even trends. I know that, for example, let me give a relationship example. There would be a woman who is always dating bad guys, and that's just how she's been her whole life, since high school. Perhaps her first boyfriend was kind of like this bad boy, this gangster type of guy, or just this guy who's never the goody two shoes, the decent, just, normal, nice guy, but always this guy who's living on the edge. And that's what she just falls for every single time. And now she's grown. Now she's in her 30s, 40s, you name it, late 20s. And she's thinking, wait, why do I always find myself with this type of person? Why do I always find myself in abusive relationships? Why do I always find myself in, even friendships where I am the least valued person, where nobody really values my presence, or values my opinion, or values whatever it is that I have to put out there that I feel like is valuable, that I know is valuable, but no one is really placing that value on what I have to say and who I am and my existence. And when you start to backtrack and you start to think about the way that you're living and the way that you've been doing things, that's when you kind of see the trend and you try and figure out what the solution could be and how to choose better and do differently the next time. When now you are stepping into a new relationship and you've done the work on yourself and you are clear on what it is that you want, you're clear on your boundaries, what you will not accept anymore, and now you know how to move forward. You have done the work. You have held yourself accountable. You have said, listen, this was my fault, nobody else, and I'm going to pick myself. I'm going to learn from my mistakes, and I'm going to move forward in a different direction, and I'm going to do things differently. So I think accountability is such a beautiful thing. It's so nice to just be honest and open with yourself and say, I did that. And perhaps even in the process of maybe making a decision that you think might not result in the way that you hope it would be aware of that. Be aware that it could go both ways, or maybe even 3 ways. And you are ready for whatever outcome. And in that way, you are able to tackle every outcome that may come. It might not be the desirable outcome that you wanted. And so you are ready for outcome B, outcome C, and so on. Instead of when outcome C comes, instead of the first outcome that you thought, this would be, this would result in a very fruitful relationship, or it would result in a very fruitful business, or whatever it may be, a friendship, you name it. And then it doesn't happen that way because you carried yourself in a certain way, you did things, and, or perhaps you took the wrong advice from the wrong people and it led you in a different direction. Now what? What do you do? Do you keep pointing fingers? Do you keep blaming everybody around you? Or do you actually hold yourself accountable and you fix it? You fix your mess, you fix your situation. And this goes for, accountability goes in so many aspects of our lives. I'm just giving a couple of examples, but it could be someone who's always overspending. You wonder before the end of the month, your money is already gone, like it's always gone. And you know that you could save money. You know that I make a decent amount of money every month, but somehow the money just slips through your fingers. Why is that? What is happening? And when you start to hold yourself accountable, when you start to sit down and use a budget and say, listen, this is why this is happening. I'm starting to see the trend. It's because here I made a large spend, which I shouldn't have done. That was a useless item. Or I shouldn't have gone on that shopping spree here. Or I shouldn't have, did X, Y, Z. You start to see the trends and you start to work your way and how you can stop doing those things and stop those habits in order for you to save money or resolve whatever problem that you're trying to resolve. So that is the video for today. I just wanted to come on here and talk about accountability. Hold yourself accountable in whatever situations you find yourself in. Of course, there are some situations where other factors came into play and other people did indeed have a role in, a hand in everything that happened, and they played a role, yes, but you were not oblivious. You were not blindsided, unless you were. But in most cases, you went in it eyes wide open, and you knew the possibilities of what could become, what could happen in the future, and what the, a couple of results could be. And you went in it. You might have been pressured a bit. You might have, been advised or ill-advised and so on. But at the end of the day, you heard the ill advice and you took it. Now hold yourself accountable and know that in the next step, in the next phase of my life, when somebody gives me advice, I will sit back, I'll analyze it, I will maybe get advice from other people also and try and figure this out and not just rely on one source. Pray over it and see if it fits in line with your goals, with your life. Is it breaking any boundaries that you set for yourself? All of those things, you do the work and you're able to move forward in a much more sensible way, and you'll get to a place where you're not always looking back and blaming other people, because you would have made decisions that are right for you and decisions that nobody pressured you into making, So yeah, I hope this video helps you today in any way. If you know somebody that would need to hear what I just spoke about and you want to share it with somebody, please do feel free to use the share button and also like and comment in this video. I would love to chat to you guys. And if you have not yet subscribed to the channel, please do take a moment to do so and join our growing YouTube family. I will chat to you guys in the next one. Bye.